All right. We're team 4, and we're going to be demoing our medical records retriever. So yeah, over the course of the semester, we pretty much came together as a team and kind of set out some development goals to kind of grow individually and also how to work in team and in a team and grow our product as well. So yeah, through 3 different goals, we kind of wanted to expand into some different areas. So number one, we wanted to really dig into fxml. So this was really interesting for a bunch of us for understanding, like, how to really, the nuances and how to get, the X and Y coordinates and everything to line up and get everything to display properly. So that was a big one. And secondly, using GitHub to collaborate. So this was definitely a big uptake for some of us in terms of, some people might have had exposure to it, but some might have not. And really getting together and learning, how to collaborate and do it in such a fast manner has been super helpful. Definitely be helpful down the road. And finally, given the scenario of COVID-19 and everything, it's been a really great opportunity to learn how to work on a distributed team. So, I mean, from also using GitHub, but also, collaborating over Zoom and learning how, just because we can't meet up in person, how we can work through problems together. And again, this is, we find this valuable for the future of our careers in terms of be able to work remotely with people as well. So yeah, a few different development high-level goals there. Yeah.
So our app is a retriever app. In the beginning of, we talked about what we wanted our app to be and like what are the more important parts that we would want to put on a medical app. So we did a little study on some people that might use this app, and we found that for us, we found like the most important person would probably be a doctor, because they would have to bring up the records of a patient and like send prescriptions and whatnot. It would be a huge part of what this app can do. This app is made for people and for medical use, to keep like all records in like one location.
So we're gonna demo our app. Our first use case allows a user, which is, like Felicia said, a doctor or a medical personnel, to retrieve a medical record for a certain patient by entering their unique patient ID into a text field. Our system will then take the ID, and if it's present in the database, the contents of the patient's medical record are going to be shown on the screen. So we just logged in as a doctor and got past that first login use case. And now if you wanted to, as a doctor or medical personnel, if you wanted to view a record, you would choose the record box and type in the patient ID. And we're just going to test it with patient 0 and click view patient records, and all their information comes up on the screen. So that's our first use case. Our second use case, obviously things change. So for the medical personnel, the second use case allows them to update a medical record for a certain patient by using the same patient ID. Once it's typed in, they can edit a field and submit it to be updated in the database. In this case, it's for Jane Doe. Change her first and last name, and you can see there it changed it to hello there. Our third use case, each patient object in the system has prescriptions. So this use case allows a doctor to retrieve and view the prescriptions for a certain patient using their patient ID. In this demo, we're going to be using patient 0 again. Click view prescription, and you can see that all the information will pop up there for their prescriptions. Our last use case that we implemented allows a medical personnel to update a patient's prescription using the prescription ID. Patients can have multiple prescriptions, so the prescription ID is more efficient this way rather than a patient ID. So once the prescription ID is entered, a prescription attribute can be edited and updated to the database that way.
And that's what we have for our 4 use cases. We decided to choose these, as we said, because we believe that they are the most important part, especially because the doctor will be the one who will be using and like browsing the app the most out of all of our stakeholders. So yeah, thank you for listening to our presentation.